Welcome back everyone to the channel where unforgettable voices, raw emotion, and once-in-a-lifetime moments come alive. If you love music that gives you goosebumps, performances that change lives, and stories that remind us why talent shows still matter, you are in the right place. Today's story is one of those rare moments when a single voice does more than just sing. It reinvents a legend, rewrites expectations, and leaves even the toughest judge completely stunned. The lights are low, the audience is buzzing, and the iconic Britain's Got Talent stage stands ready. This is a stage that has seen magicians defy logic, dancers tell stories without words, and singers rise from complete unknowns to global stars. But every now and then, something happens that feels different. Something that feels historic. This is one of those moments. Before we dive into the performance itself, we need to talk about the man whose reaction alone can make or break a career. Simon Cowell. Known around the world as the sharpest tongue in television talent shows, Simon is not easily impressed. He has spent decades in the music industry discovering, shaping, and sometimes brutally rejecting talent. From working behind the scenes in record labels to creating global phenomena like One Direction, Susan Boyle, and Leona Lewis, Simon Cowell knows exactly what works and what does not. When Simon listens, he is not just hearing notes. He is hearing potential, marketability, longevity, and authenticity. He has heard thousands upon thousands of singers, many of them technically brilliant, but only a handful truly move him. That is why when Simon leans forward, when his expression changes, or when he is left speechless, you know something extraordinary is happening. On this particular night, the contestant walks out with calm confidence. There is no overconfidence, no dramatic gestures, just a quiet presence. The audience claps politely, unsure of what is about to unfold. The judges smile, some curious, some skeptical. Simon looks up, pen in hand, ready to judge. The contestant introduces themselves and reveals their song choice. A rock classic. One of those songs that is considered untouchable. A song associated with power, rebellion, raw energy, and a very specific vocal style. Choosing such a song on a show like Britain's Got Talent is risky. Rock fans are passionate. Judges compare every note to the original. One wrong move, and the performance can fall apart instantly. You can almost feel the tension in the room. A few raised eyebrows. A quick glance between judges. Simon's face shows mild concern. He has seen this before. Contestants choosing legendary songs and failing to live up to them. The music starts. At first, the arrangement feels familiar. The opening notes echo the original, grounding the audience in what they know. But then the voice comes in. It is not what anyone expected. Instead of copying the original singer, the contestant does something brave. They slow it down. They strip it back. They change the emotional direction completely. What was once loud and aggressive becomes soulful, vulnerable, and deeply personal. The voice is powerful, but not in a shouting way. It is controlled, rich, and full of emotion. Every word feels intentional. Every lyric sounds like it is being lived, not just sung. The audience begins to lean in. You can see people holding their breath. Simon's pen stops moving. This is a crucial moment. Simon often writes notes throughout performances. When he stops, it usually means one thing. He is listening with full attention. As the song builds, the arrangement grows. Drums come in softly. The guitar swells, but never overpowers the vocal. The contestant's voice begins to soar, hitting notes that are not just technically impressive but emotionally devastating. This is not just a cover. This is a reinvention. The audience reaction changes from quiet curiosity to audible amazement. Gasps can be heard. Some people put their hands over their mouths. Others begin to tear up. This is the kind of performance where time seems to slow down. The chorus hits, And instead of screaming it out like the original, the contestant delivers it with controlled intensity. Power without chaos. Strength without noise. It sends chills through the room. Simon's expression changes again. His eyes widen slightly. There is a hint of a smile, but not his usual polite smile. This one is real. This one is rare. As the song reaches its final section, the contestant adds a vocal run that was not in the original. It could have gone wrong. It could have felt unnecessary. But it works perfectly. It feels natural, like the song was always meant to be sung this way. The final note hangs in the air. Silence. For a split second, nobody moves. Then the audience explodes. A standing ovation erupts across the theater. People are cheering, clapping, shouting. The energy is electric. The judges stand as well. One by one, they rise to their feet, applauding with genuine admiration. Simon stands too. This is important. Simon does not stand often. When he does, it is because he knows he has just witnessed something special. The applause goes on and on. The contestant looks overwhelmed, eyes shining, trying to take it all in. This is the moment they dreamed of, but probably never fully believed would happen. When the judges finally sit down, Simon is the first to speak. He pauses. This pause is intentional. Simon knows how powerful silence can be. He looks at the contestant, then at the audience. Then he speaks. He says that choosing a rock classic like that was incredibly risky. He admits that when the song was announced, he was worried. He says that most people who try to reinvent legendary songs fail because they either copy too much or change too much. But then he says something that changes everything. He says that this performance did what very few performances ever do. It made him forget the original. It made him hear the song in a completely new way. He says that this was not just a great audition, but a moment. Simon explains that the music industry is not just about having a good voice. It is about identity. It is about making people feel something. And tonight, he says, the contestant did exactly that. The other judges agree. One talks about the emotional connection. Another praises the vocal control and bravery. They all highlight the same thing. This performance felt honest. The audience cheers again. The contestant thanks the judges, clearly emotional but composed. You can see that this is more than just a yes. This is validation. When the votes come, it is unanimous. 4 yeses. But it feels almost unnecessary at this point. The real win already happened. As the contestant leaves the stage, the camera catches Simon turning to the other judges and saying something quietly. He looks impressed, thoughtful, and excited. That look says more than words ever could. This performance quickly spreads online. Clips go viral. Rock fans debate it. Music critics analyze it. Viewers around the world replay it again and again. Some say it is one of the best reinventions of a rock classic they have ever heard. Others say it proves that great songs can live many lives if the artist understands their soul. And that is what this was really about. Not just a powerful voice. Not just a famous song. But the courage to take something iconic and make it personal. This is why Britain's Got Talent still matters. This is why Simon Cowell still matters. And this is why moments like this remind us that music, when done right, can stop time. If you felt the chills from this performance, if Simon's reaction gave you goosebumps, and if you believe this voice truly reinvented a rock classic, let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more unforgettable talent show moments that deserve to be remembered. The story does not end when the stage lights dim and the contestant walks off with 4 yeses. In many ways, that is where the real journey begins. Backstage, the atmosphere is completely different from the calm confidence seen moments earlier. Hands are shaking. Breathing is heavy. The reality of what just happened starts to sink in. Producers rush in with smiles, congratulating the contestant. Other performers waiting for their turn look on with a mix of admiration and disbelief. Everyone knows they have just witnessed something special. Performances like this shift the energy of the entire season. From that moment on, the bar is higher for everyone. Simon Cowell is still thinking about the audition. This is something many viewers may not realize. Simon does not switch off once the cameras stop rolling. When a performance truly moves him, it stays with him. He replays it in his mind, analyzing why it worked, what made it different, and whether the artist has long-term potential. Back in the judges' lounge, Simon talks about the performance. He mentions how difficult it is to take a rock classic and make it feel new without losing its soul. He says that most artists either play it safe or try too hard to shock. But this performance found the balance. It respected the original while speaking in a completely new voice. As the episode airs, the reaction from the public is instant. Social media lights up within minutes. Clips of the audition spread across platforms. People from different countries, different generations, and different musical tastes all seem to agree on one thing. This voice did something rare. Comments flood in. Some viewers say they grew up with the original song and never thought anyone could touch it. Others admit they were skeptical when they heard the song choice but were completely won over within seconds. Many mention Simon Cowell's reaction as the moment they realized how serious this was. Music teachers and vocal coaches begin breaking down the performance. They talk about breath control, phrasing, dynamics, and emotional delivery. But beyond the technical praise, one word keeps coming up again and again. Authentic. That authenticity becomes the contestant's signature. In later rounds, expectations are higher. The pressure is intense. Once you deliver a performance like that, people expect magic every time. Simon knows this better than anyone. He has seen contestants crumble under the weight of early success. During rehearsals for the next round, Simon offers rare advice. He tells the contestant not to chase the moment from the audition. He says lightning rarely strikes the same way twice, and that is okay. What matters is staying true to who you are as an artist. This guidance is crucial. Instead of trying to recreate the shock factor, the contestant focuses on storytelling. Each song choice becomes intentional. Each performance reveals a new layer of their voice and personality. Week after week, the audience responds. Not every performance is perfect, but they are always honest. Simon respects that. He often says that perfection can be boring, but truth never is. As the competition progresses, comparisons begin. Viewers start talking about past legends of the show. They ask whether this voice could reach the same heights. Simon avoids making direct predictions, but his comments grow more serious. He talks about records, tours, and longevity. When Simon starts thinking beyond the show, it means he sees something real. The original audition continues to live online. Millions of views turn into tens of millions. Reaction videos appear. Musicians, rock fans, and even the original song's fans weigh in. Some say they discovered a new appreciation for the song because of this version. What makes this story powerful is not just the talent, but the risk. Reinventing a rock classic is like walking a tightrope. One misstep, and the fall is unforgiving. But when it works, it creates something unforgettable. Simon Cowell later reflects on the audition in an interview. He says moments like this remind him why he still does the show after all these years. He says discovering someone who can take a familiar song and make the world hear it differently is rare. And that rarity is what keeps the industry alive. For the contestant, life changes fast. Interviews, messages from fans, and new opportunities arrive almost overnight. But the memory that stays strongest is that first moment. Standing on the Britain's Got Talent stage. Hearing the silence before the applause. Seeing Simon Cowell stand. That is the moment everything shifted. This performance was not just about winning a competition. It was about proving that music has no limits when courage meets talent. It showed that even the most iconic songs still have stories left to tell. And as long as artists are brave enough to tell them, voices like this will continue to redefine what is possible. If you believe this audition will be remembered for years to come, share your thoughts. Because some performances do not fade with time. They grow stronger. And this was one of them. This was not just an audition. This was history being made.